Hey there, everybody. Thanks for joining me in this quick video I have for you all. I want to expand more on the bills of exchange. It's a big topic right now. A lot of us are having success, and I've told you that I want to continue to hear your success. It is very important that we all hear what is the current when it comes to this process. We know that we are the gold, we are the silver, we are every important element of commodities. It's within our bodies, it's within our energy. And so we all know about the matrix and how things work there. So not really need to go into that, but you have an understanding of how energy and labor and money works. And so therefore, all of these things that are being charged against us is our lack of understanding is why we are turning over hours for dollars and turning over those dollars in for those charges. Whereas when there is a debit, there is also a credit. And so I just want to just share and another opportunity where I have done a successful exchange. All of these dollar bills that we receive and deal with every day, all of the checks, money orders, all of that, those are a form of exchange, a bill of exchange. Okay, and we can make unlimited bills. We have the 1, the 5, the 10, the 20, the 50, and the 100. We used to have larger denominations in the past, but they have removed that. But that is coming from the Federal Reserve. We can make bills much larger than 100 as long as they are drawn off of the accounts that are coming from the credit side of the debit that they are requiring. So in the past, I talked about, I guess I was sharing some opportunities or an experience with my toll, the tolls that we have here in Florida. We have SunPass, we have the Florida Turnpikes, we have the Florida Department of Transportation, which lords all of those things, those departments. And, it does rack up. And a lot of times where you live, you have no choice but to use the tolls. So it can become $2. And then if you don't pay it in time, they bill you by the plate and there's interest and more interest. And I say, you know what? Wouldn't it be best to give them an instrument that they can make money off of by trading over in the secondary markets? And at the same time, let us credit our accounts because the credit is already there, right? So that makes sense to me. So I did a first attempt and received a notice back from them. And it was very similar to the one that I showed you all with Verizon when they said, we cannot process this check or instrument because it is non-negotiable. Let's take a look. I want to show you what that looks like. I'll share my screen here. Let's go to share. We'll do the full screen. Okay. So take a look here. This is coming from SunPass. And they've highlighted the section that pertains to me. And if I needed to call them and talk about this, this is the number. However, I do have a specific contact and a specific address where these instruments must go. So thank God that I remembered to scan it and save everything that I've sent out. That way, when there is success, I can show you what was sent. So it says at the top here by SunPass, prepaid toll program. Unfortunately, we are unable to post your check to any SunPass or TBP account for the reasons below. Non-negotiable. SunPass is unable to post your payment due to no signature. Okay, and they return the check back to me. And remember, the reason why Verizon did not process the check was for the same reason, because it wasn't negotiable. I was missing the maturity date, which should be anywhere from 90 days to 120 days from the date of when you're saying you're going to make or promising to pay this payment. So let's scroll down and look at this negotiable bill of exchange. You've all seen this language before. Very different from using a check format. The language on the check is very different for this from this bill of exchange. Checks, we're talking about gold, United States gold dollars or silver dollars. So very simple. There you see it, the due on or before May 28, 2025. It's at a rate of 1% over the current at that time of when the instrument is being deposited. It's going to be 1% over the Federal Reserve Bank official rate of interest. Now, that interest rate is always being up for grabs. We don't know what that is going to be at that current time. So you leave that with that particular statement so it can cover any interest rate. All right. So with a minimum of 3% per year. So that makes it very, very easy for them to sell this instrument to the secondary market. Okay. It's for 5,000, and this is dated February 27th. So what I want to show you is to come over to my actual account here. Okay. Let's take a look at the February 5th statement. You'll see that I usually prepay it. I have a minimum of $10 sitting in there. And in case I do use the services of the tolls, it'll charge the account. Now, obviously, as you see, I have to use it quite often where I frequent, right? I'm going from Seminole County to Lake County to Volusia County, all the way down into Orange County, and sometimes even Osceola and Polk County, and you got to use the tolls. That 4 freeway is pretty crazy sometimes, especially if you're going past Orlando and the Disneyland areas. So this is the bill. Now, I want you to compare the bill of exchange here. Look at the MICR line down here, because usually you can tear this part off, right? And they tell you to include it with your cash, check, or money order. Now, this information is just your account number, and this is voucher number 8. They have STM for statement, but those letters can be replaced with zeros. And that's what I've done here. It follows the same sequence that they've already given me. Okay. And I've made my own number here because it has no connection to any Federal Reserve Bank. This is a completely private yet negotiable instrument. Now let's take a look at the statement for March 5th. Hit view there. And as you see here, we have payment and credit of $5,200. So I am good for, I guess this is probably going to last me for another 10 years of riding for free on these lanes. And this is how you're going to tap into that, what the secured party creditor people would say. You're sovereign. You don't have to be driving with a license plate or a driver's license. No, you want to have those things. You just have to make sure that these vehicles are registered properly. And you have to make sure that you have explanatory statements on your driver's license applications, just like you would with your passport applications, right? This is what you call blending in to the public. Blend in, you're just passing through. You're not trying to cause any waves. You're not trying to cause any problems. All right. So I would much rather have this type of win be incognito rather than drag a bunch of attention to yourself, or trying to give some kind of instrument that you've seen online that has no merit by, let's say, the laws behind it. If there are no laws behind what someone says, and there is no specific document or a teaching or a proof of that teaching, the fruit of the work that you're hearing from, I wouldn't follow it. I don't put out information that can potentially get you into trouble. And if there is, on the opposing side, someone questioning what you're doing, at least you will have the information to back up what you're doing without recourse, of course. Okay. So just to show live accounts here of how this can work for you. Excuse me. As you see right here, it says check was replenished, right? 5,000, and here is the credit. So the Porsche that was recently discharged, the truck that was recently discharged, and even other vehicles in my family that may come here, I also add their license plates to my account number. Okay, I have the power to do that. So this is something you can do. Is what I want you to take away from this quick video is you must have this highlighted section when you do your bills of exchange. You absolutely have to have a maturity date. This is what you call on demand / at site. That means on or before this particular date, if you do not cash this, it is null and void. It's just like a check you receive when it says null and void if not cashed within 90 days. That's what that is. That's how you make instruments negotiable. It doesn't have to have a routing number or an account number, at least an account number. But this is how you make bills of exchange negotiable. So let's keep the train going. I want to continue to hear from you all on your success. Please continue to do that. It is very important. And also stay private, okay? You don't want to do certain things that you give it to some knucklehead out there and they just run rampant and then just ruin the whole process for everybody. Be smart about who you tell this information to. It's okay to vet, all right? It really is okay to vet. Not everybody needs to know what you know, all right? With that being said, I'll stop the video here and I'll see you in the next one.